Part 376. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3751. Tai Shiji opened his mouth, feeling anxious in his heart at this moment. Thinking silently in my heart, the sound of breathing couldn't help but become rapid. The eyeballs rolled, and the mood gradually became chaotic. Anxious heart, let alone talk to anyone. So difficult. It's so embarrassing. From the perspective of Tai Shiji, he wished he could directly rush forward to bear such pain instead of Fang Fan. But I just can't move my footsteps. Difficult to go to the blue sky. What's the next step? This is the key to the key. Have been here? This doesn't look like that either. For a moment, the whole person became extremely numb. Then he looked at Yuan Kong helplessly, and couldn't help shaking his head slightly. Anxiety, helplessness, emotion. If it's really unbearable, Fang Fan will return. Don't worry about it. Observe the energy fluctuations of this pseudo-god level thunder. In our big world, there are very few such opportunities. Take a good look, there may not be such an opportunity in the future. Look again. Gudong. It's good for your career path. It's also good for my enlightenment. Shui Wanren, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, glanced at the pseudo-god level Tianli in the distance, couldn't help but take a deep breath, and his face became flushed. He clenched his fists at the moment, and seemed to realize something. That kind of feeling could not be expressed casually in a few words. Such an opportunity is once in a lifetime. Ah! What is there to comprehend? Deputy Palace Master, isn't this a nightmare for you? Could it be that you are also concerned about chaos? Take it easy. Don't be so stupid. Grand Uncle Ji looked at Shui Wanren's appearance, and couldn't help but care about him from the sidelines. Roll. Get to know yourself. Don't waste such a good opportunity. Shui Wanren's face was dark, and he couldn't help curling his lips. What I'm concerned about now is where my apprentice will transfer this false god level sky thunder. Will it be transferred to the top of that Wang apprentice? Hey, if he transfers, Wang too will definitely die. I've been annoyed by this guy for a long time. It would be best if he could be killed sooner. Tai Shiji squinted his eyes, a cold light flickered in them. This Wang apprentice relied on himself as the president of the light camp, but he did not hesitate to deceive his apprentice in public and private interests. For Grand Uncle Ji, you cheated me once or twice, and Xiao Xiao passed away, maybe he didn't care that much. But if you dare to harm my apprentice, how can you do it? Go up and beat you to death. This feeling is understandable to some extent. Forward. Where is my other apprentice, Bai Piao? How scared is this guy now? Hey, I don't dare to come out to meet people now. Really, it's not necessary. Everything, take it easy. Tai Shiji couldn't help mumbling aside. He looked around and saw that Shui Wanren and Wu Meiling were observing the pseudo-god level sky thunder seriously, as if this pseudo-god level sky thunder was some kind of shocking avenue. That posture, that expression, are vividly displayed, and this feeling, let alone tell anyone. It's that real. What's so good about this thing? Is there really so much mystery in it? It's just that I can't see anything. Is it because my understanding is too poor? Or, only the existence of a demigod can find some clues in it? Tai Shiji frowned, and couldn't help but fall into self-doubt at this moment. Is it true that his talent is so hip? It shouldn't be like this. Thinking about the fourth thunder of the demigod thunder calamity, that is, the false god level sky thunder has been brewing. At this moment, it is about to fall so directly. The posture is vividly displayed. Coming. Someone is going to be unlucky again. I bet 100 fragments of the divine stone, This time the bomber is still Saint Wangtu. Saint Wangtu has cheated Big Boss Fang Fan several times before, and this time he must find it all at once. I guess so. Wang is cold. It's time to eat. It's time to eat. Hey, this Fang Fan killed Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, with the thunder in front of everyone. How can he still hang out in the light camp after this? He has such strength, the light camp and even the Temple of the Light Alliance can't wait to confess him directly. How can there be so many troubles? I really think too much. Hey, when the time comes, the Pope of the Temple of the Light Alliance may have to give way. Furthermore, did you see Big Boss Fang Fan shifting the Thunderbolt and killing Wang too? Big Boss Fang Fan just stood there the whole time, and didn't move at all. Seeing is believing. Ears are believing. This I didn't see it. Is this evidence? This has been nothing but speculation, nothing. That's right, such speculation is meaningless and worthless. Hip stretching. Two hip stretching. The mumbling voices around increased, and the spirits of the melon eaters were not bad. At this moment, their faces were flushed, and they began to give pointers excitedly. At this moment, the most anxious person in my heart naturally belongs to that Wang disciple. Now he can be regarded as a god who can't enter the earth and has nowhere to go. The powerful demigod-level sky thunder bombarded him before and hurt him thoroughly, so now, he still can't get up. At a time like this, even escaping is an extravagant hope for him. It's too difficult for everything to be done now. His mentality collapsed here, his eyes flickered, and he felt a sense of powerlessness. Caog. Return. Stay with me. This saint is afraid. Would you like to come with me? This saint will not treat you badly. Wait for the saint to survive this calamity, you will be my brother. Cough, 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 cough. Caog. Come here and carry me on your back. Take me away. Asshole. Who comes and takes me away? This saint will be rewarded a lot. Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, was grinding his teeth, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help twitching crazily. While talking at the moment, he couldn't help but look around with confused eyes. Whispering to himself, eyes indifferent, everything is silent. How to maintain the chaotic heart at this moment? Messed up. The rhythm is out of order. Mentality collapsed. The flattering people who surrounded him on weekdays had long since left. Running is the only option. When the tree falls, the sun is scattered. Who wants to stay and accompany him to die? Don't think too much. Caog was the fastest runner. After running very far, he scanned the surrounding area, making sure he couldn't see Wangtu, so he slowly relaxed. You son of a bitch, you want to drag me on your back before you die, you're thinking too much. The bright future of labor and management is ahead, who will accompany you to death. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3752. Caog thought silently in his heart, and then couldn't help but look at Fang Fan's position and the powerful pseudo-god level Sky Thunder. This Fang Fan is not easy. I used to be so shaky, I went to offend this guy. Hey, it's better to bully a white-headed man than bully a young man to be poor. Today I have fully realized it. No loitering, absolutely no loitering. The mentality must be broken, this is the most important thing. If you are not careful, you will completely pull your hips. Gudong. It's true to be steady. Wangtu used to have a chance to kill Fang Fan, but now, on my own, it's absolutely impossible. Forget it, let's put it down slowly, and I won't think about these things in the future. It's messy and meaningless. Caog licked his lips, thinking to himself, then shook his head. After gradually thinking about it, I feel that everything in front of me is much more cheerful. It's not like they have been entangled in this matter for a long time. This is really uncomfortable. It's too hip. Thoughts are messed up, willpower is broken. The thunder was about to fall. Lena looked at Fang Fan. Now she has nothing to fear. There is a God, and the God will bless her. Firm beliefs gathered in my mind, and smiles gradually appeared on my face. This taste is very real and inexplicably exciting. It's great to have God here. Everything about me is bestowed by the Lord God. In this life, I belong to the Lord God. Under the crown of God is my heaven. Lena clasped her hands together and began to pray silently in her heart. Pixio swallow card. Fang Fan made a decisive decision and released another magic card. The card turned into a red light, and then a figure of Pixio with a height of 100 feet appeared. Roar. Shhhhhh. Roar. The mythical Pixio roared loudly, and the endless combat power burst out all over the body. Then he opened his mouth wide, and began to frantically swallow that pseudo-demigod level sky thunder. The picture is super strong. For a time, everyone became the leader. Didn't he divert Tianli this time? Have you changed your routine again this time? Pixio suddenly appeared in the sky. And then it just exploded. This. What is rhythm? Why don't you understand something? For a while, his thoughts were messed up, his eyes trembled, and he wanted to say something but couldn't say it. Blinking his confused eyes, his thoughts also burst out. Just feel a little out of bounds. Is that so? Inexplicably weird? What's going on? What the hell is this? Even the sky thunder, dare to swallow even the false god level sky thunder? Crap. It's awesome. Dragon head, horse body, and lin feet. Looks like a lion. And gray. This is the ancient mythical beast Pixio. It is said that Pixio can devour everything. My god. Is this Pixio also summoned by that boss Fang Fan? Is it to devour this pseudo-god level sky thunder? How many cards are there? It's okay to transfer Tianli before, but now it's fine, and it will start to devour it directly. It's really unlucky for the thunder to fall here today. It's too strong. I don't want to say anything now. How awesome. Strong. Really strong. Hey. When will I be so good? Get lost, you have no hope in this life. It seems that the most ferocious demigod thunder calamity in history is about to pass through. This tribulation is the same as playing. The surrounding voices of emotion increased. Seeing the phantom of the Pixio mythical beast again, I felt somewhat trembling. Ah. No bombing. Didn't transfer Tianli. I survived. Good on. Am I narrowly escaped? Worrying. If one survives, there will be future fortunes. I, Wang-Tu, have made a comeback. I, Wang-Tu, are invincible. Wang-Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, felt his heart gradually falling, and he felt relaxed. Just walked through the gate of hell. The feeling of feeling the breath of your own death is the most painful. Just now he had to be prepared to be bombarded to death by the thunder. Now he suddenly relaxed, and endless joy rushed directly into his mind, making his whole body numb on the spot. Others are not there, needless to say. The state of mind is so surging to the extreme. Very real and very clear. The feeling takes off, and the idea gallops. If you think like this, let's talk to someone. Happy. Extremely fun. Master Saint. Master Saint, are you alright? Hey, we were scared to death just now. As long as you are fine, I will help you up. Lord Wang, don't fall into such a dangerous situation in the future. Our hands and feet were numb just now, and we don't know what to do. Yes, Master Wang, Please don't blame us. Wang was fine and safe, and then many flatterers came around. Hey, the world is real. Wang glanced around, feeling a little sarcasm inexplicably. Ridiculous. Really ridiculous. What kind of people are these? Ridiculous to the extreme. One by one, all of them have two skinny faces. Do you really think you are stupid? Crazy. Don't know the world at all? Grass. Just now you abandoned me like nothing. Hold me up now as a treasure in your palm. What labor and management want is to give timely help, not icing on the cake. Where's CAOG? Wang snorted coldly, and there was a hint of hostility in his eyes. Ah! Holy, Master Saint, I am here. CAOG rushed over from a distance, his face turned green. A heart has long been broken to the extreme. Oh shit. Why didn't Tianli kill this bastard this day? Why? That brat Fang Fan is unreliable. You directly summon Tianli to destroy everything, wouldn't there be so many troubles? It's all right now, entanglements come and go, and I still don't know what to do next. When Wang was unlucky before, he slipped away. Although he didn't tear his face directly, he was a little forced in his heart. Now that Wang is alive, there is no danger, so why not settle accounts after autumn? CAOG also thought about just running away, but after thinking about it carefully, if he really did that, then he would be tantamount to breaking with the Temple of the Alliance of Light and even the Camp of Light. In this case, there will be no room for him in the Light Camp in the future. Needless to say how miserable it will be. Casual cultivators have no human rights. As for going to the Dark Camp, it doesn't seem to work. The point is, no one wants to accept him. The way before and after this has been completely blocked. Now I can only grit my teeth and move on. Master Saint. Lord Wang. The subordinate is incompetent. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3753. CAOG cried miserably. If others don't know, they think that some kind of fatherly kindness and filial piety are being staged. Master Saint. I failed your promise. I didn't know what was wrong at the time. It seemed that there was infinite gravity on my body that oppressed me, making me unable to move forward. But I can never forget Lord Saint. Even if I risk my life, I will avenge Lord Saint to the end. Fortunately, I rushed there at the last moment and successfully stopped that Fang Fan from letting this false god-level thunder fall on Lord Saint. But no matter what, I am responsible for this matter. It is I who made Lord Saint worry so much. This is my fault. No matter how Sage Lord punishes me and abuses me, I can bear it. Just for the sake of my sincerity, Lord Saint, please save me a dog's life. I still want to continue to serve Lord Saint. Master Saint is my God. Master Saint is my God. Master Saint is everything to me. If I can't serve Lord Saint in this life, I will have no meaning in living. Boom. Bang bang bang. CAOG knocked his head on the ground with a bang. It was really hard. This guy is also a talent. This makes you completely disregard yourself as a human being. Minimize who you are now, and start expressing your allegiance as best you can. Of course, Wang the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, is not a fool. How could he be deceived so easily? In fact, he was very clear in his heart, and he also knew what the situation was. But obviously, people don't care, their posture seems to be floating, their eyes are flickering, and their thoughts are rushing. This is what Wang wants. As long as the matter on the face is resolved, the remaining ones are gone, so naturally you don't need to care, and people won't care about your existence at all. Is this considered a well-known feeling? Hee. Is that so? I thought Caogitian was completely lost after being promoted to the demigod realm. So, this saint still wants to thank you. Huh? Because of your existence, Fang Fan didn't transfer the false god level thunder to the head of the saint. Are you still the savior of the saint? A cold snort came, and Wang Tu swept across with sharp eyes. Caog seemed a little ignorant for a while, and nodded subconsciously. Yes, that's right. These words are spoken with confidence. It's just that it doesn't sound very good. What kind of things are they expressing among the bells and whistles? Bullshit. The sense of rhythm of bullshit is so strong now. Play around, what are you doing? After Caog just said this, he regretted it. He's crazy. He is really crazy. It's overdone. No. I was wrong. Master Saint, my meager strength is nothing. Everything is because of the blessings of the Holy One. Yes. That's right, that's it. Whirring. I'm nothing, I'm a shit. Master Saint, please don't pay attention to me, just treat me like a piece of shit and let it go. It is already a great honor for the subordinates not to blame me, Lord Saint. It's a great honor for me, Caog, to meet such an enlightened master as Lord Sage in this life. Caog must give up his life and forget to die, and serve the Lord Saint with all his heart. The body began to be normal. Caog's acting skills have begun to play again. At this moment, in order to achieve a certain real effect, those eyes gradually turned red. The trembling range of the body has increased in an all-round way, and the eager and surging mood at this time is vividly displayed. Not much else to say, this kind of feeling is extremely vivid. Urgent. And take off. Invincible. It's really invincible now. The pupils completely exploded. Who can I tell this idea to? The urgency has reached the extreme, and now it seems so exciting. Snort. Stay well. Wang Tu waved his hand, and then felt the pain in his body. He couldn't help grinning his teeth, his eyes trembled slightly, his breathing gradually became extremely rapid, his eyes flickered, his expression fluttered, and all his feelings were expressed in silence. Very real and very clear. Immediately, he looked at the pseudo-god level sky thunder in the air, and then at the invincible pixie who was frantically devouring the sky thunder. His expression gradually became extremely ugly. This Fang Fan is very unusual. If he wants to take revenge, it seems that it is not so easy. Boom. Rumble. The false god level thunder in the air has not fallen for a long time, and it seems to be even more irritable. At this moment, thunder and lightning flashed, and various thunderclaps rang in his mind, his eyes gradually gathered, and his thoughts were completely messed up. He wanted to express something, but in the end he was speechless. That thunder group has begun to exert its strength. Now continuously contribute more energy to the pseudo-god level sky thunder. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Good. The speed at which this pixie of phantom devours the energy of the pseudo-god level thunder is simply not as fast as the energy provided by the thunder group. In this way, this pseudo-god level sky thunder will only become stronger and stronger. And in the process, this pixie will be strangled to death. Good thing. Of course it's a good thing. Damn it. Boom you to death. Bomb that woman to death now, and make that brat feel bad for a while. It would be even better if we can also blast that brat to death. However, if you want to achieve this goal, it seems a bit difficult. Hey, forget it, take your time. This little brat is in pain, but I'm happy. Cool. Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, licked his lips, and while talking, the endless light in his eyes flickered wildly. Such a gesture, let alone tell anyone. A quick batch. The comfort is gradually in place. There are thousands of thoughts, and the thoughts are being stabbed in an all-round way. The pattern of this class of saints is now completely ruined. Anyway, he is also a figure under one person and above 10,000 people in the Temple of the Light Alliance. Now here is relying on this method to gloat. Not only does it look like it has no pattern at all, but it also looks really wretched. The sycophants around looked at each other, then shrugged. Although they didn't dare to say anything on the surface, they still subconsciously expressed their own speechlessness and complaints. I know everything in my heart. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3754. Pixio can't stand it anymore. Fang Fan looked at Yuan Kong and couldn't help rubbing his forehead. How could he not see the situation clearly? It's just what should be done now, which is the most important thing. Otherwise, it will only continue to make the situation worse. Problem occurs. The phantom of the mythical beast Pixio summoned by Fang Fan doesn't seem to work well. Just sucked away the energy of the pseudo-god level Sky Thunder, and added a little more. Hey, if we follow this trend, there is no limit. I don't know what will happen next. This is the most complicated. The sense of bells and whistles is being superimposed in an all-round way. If there is no other way, wait for the pseudo-god level Sky Thunder to accumulate enough energy, and by the way, this phantom of Pixio will also be blasted away. If it really comes to that time, it will really be over. At that time, this defeat will be unstoppable. Hey, Fang Fan's confidant is about to go blind for nothing. A wise man will make a mistake if he thinks a lot. After all, it still didn't prevent problems before they happened. Bai Piao took care of the overall situation, and while talking, couldn't help but shook his head and said. From his point of view, he felt that this round was quite problematic. If you are not careful, you will be fully involved. The situation really needs to be more serious. Can't wave, one wave destroys everything. Now what? Hey, if I knew it earlier, I might as well continue to transfer Tianli. Or I'll grab you and let Fang Fan divert Tianli. Uncle G raised his eyebrows, then looked at Bai Piao, and said seriously. Bai Piao. Boy, are you serious? What the hell am I? When did I become such a pathetic character? Are you my master? Oh shit. Even if you are eccentric, do you have a restraint? It's fine if you give the family property to Fang Fan, it's your preference. But you still have to be a little bit partial in this preference. If you don't have any speed, play with the hammer. Pull me over to collide with that pseudo-god level Sky Thunder. Grass. I'm really not that strong. At that time, I will be torn apart in minutes. Master, you are my real master. You really dare to say that? Really, are you really not afraid of the cold in my heart? Bai Piaoxu was rambling, and couldn't help but sighed with emotion from the side. While talking, the speed at which the corners of his mouth twitched was fully displayed. The sense of despair in the depths of my heart swept across the board. Everything seemed so real. Why? I don't want to do that either. The point is, isn't the situation urgent now? When human life is at stake, how can we take care of these details? If it's really out of control, Fang Fan can only come back first. In any case, you can't take his life with you. This demigod thunder tribulation evildoer has reached its peak, and Fang Fan has already tried his best. It can only be said that this girl's life is not good. I'll call Fang Fan back. When the time comes, let's enlighten him together. Tai Shiji narrowed his eyes, and then couldn't help but sigh with emotion. As a master, you must play the role of a pillar in a timely manner at critical times. Otherwise, what's the use of him? Etc. Don't disturb Fang Fan. Maybe, it's not that far yet. There is still a connecting flight. Fang Fan hasn't given up yet. This bastard is good at using strange tricks. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, squinted his eyes, and then nodded frequently while talking, his heart beating silently. Excited heart, trembling hands, you can see if there is one at this moment. What do you see? What else can I do? The cards are exhausted. My apprentice has always been the kind of character who doesn't give up until he reaches his goal. I'm really afraid that if he gets into the horns, it will really be over. Hey, what we have to do now is to run quickly. Tai Shiji groaned, and couldn't help sighing softly from the side. While speaking, various thoughts gathered in his mind, and then his lips murmured slightly, and his steps gradually became vain. All kinds of thoughts deep in my heart gradually increased. Thousands of thoughts, confused consciousness, everything is silent. What should be done next, already has the most realistic rhythm. Seeing the ever-growing pseudo-god level sky thunder, the surrounding melon-eating people couldn't help but start screaming excitedly. After eating melons for so many years, this is indeed the first time I have seen such an interesting picture. There is more or less a surge of meaning in this heart. Thinking to myself, the eyeballs were turning faster and faster. Pseudo-god level sky thunder is still growing. Will the sky thunder continue to upgrade? Grass. How far has it been upgraded? Quasi-god level? Or the legendary true god level? True god level sky thunder? Good on. Am I lucky enough to see it? Now the key depends on the endurance of this mythical beast Pixie Phantom. Damn. I really hope it can last for a while, so that I can see more. Grass. This is really cool. It took off directly. My thoughts swelled. Do it. Go up and do it. Steady, everyone, stay steady, don't slack off in the slightest. My God, I'm invincible. This wave is really invincible. Extremely tyrannical. Is this the boss's world? Invincible. Invincible. The shouts around him gradually increased, his eyes gradually turned blood red, and his breathing gradually became rapid. The people who eat melons also slowly followed. No one is optimistic about the next situation, but everyone wants to see the emergence of a stronger Tianli. They all thought that this demigod thunder disaster had completely failed, and it was impossible to create a brand new demigod. Failure, already doomed. Lena blinked her beautiful eyes and looked at the sky thunder roaring high in the sky. At this moment, the pseudo-god level sky thunder gradually changed into the appearance of a brontosaurus, fighting back and forth with Pixie Phantom. Pixie Shuiying tried his best to absorb the energy of the thunder dragon. If he followed this speed, he would be able to completely devour the energy of the thunder dragon for a while. However, the thunder dragon evolved from Tianli has endless backup energy storage. In this case, the energy devouring of Pixie Phantom seems to be a joke. Wait until the thunder dragon evolved from Tianli is strong enough. Am I going to face a death? Is it still going to go that way after all? I can't bear it. I can't bear to be crowned by the Lord God. I haven't repaid the kindness of His Majesty the Lord yet. I want to dedicate everything I have to His Majesty the Lord. Under God's crown is my sky, under God's crown is my everything. So nostalgic. Lena licked her red lips, looked into the distance, looked at that familiar figure, and felt empty in her heart for a while. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3755. Maybe there is an inexplicable feeling in the invisible? Maybe he didn't even realize this feeling. Everything unfolds invisibly and silently. Extremely touched, let alone talk to someone. Not the same, really different. Everything is frantically changing with various rhythms. It seems that I can't continue to say anything. The last farewell, I don't know what to say. How lucky I would be if I could hug His Majesty the Lord God now. Ah! How can I have these unrealistic ideas in my mind? That's the Divine Lord, that's His Majesty the Divine Lord. What am I? I'm nothing. I am in front of the God Lord, how can I behave like this? No. Not like that. I do not deserve. Lena was taken aback by the thoughts that came out of her mind, and couldn't help shaking her head frantically at this moment. Thinking silently in my heart was also trembling crazily. The anxiety in his heart is fully manifested at this moment. Under the crown of the God Lord, it is the supreme and most honorable existence, which cannot be defiled in the slightest. In the end, what should we do? Lena must be saved. If I knew it earlier, I would have kept an extra Sky Thunder transfer card. He can't hold this pseudo-god level Thunder transferred to Wang 2, but he can definitely hold it when it is transferred to Bai Piao. In this case, there are not so many surprises. That's where Bai Piao needs to suffer. Bai Piao's God of Thunder is not granted by Bai Piao. Hey, it's just that it's too late to say anything now. Now that these are all over, it's time to make a decision. There has to be a concrete solution. You can't stay here any longer. It's not right, and it's not good. Fang Fan shook his head, his mental power was circulating crazily in the storage ring. Something does exist. Prisoner card. Prisoner Sky card, imprison the world for a period of time. Auction base price is 20,000 pieces of the God Stone. Every increase in price shall not be less than 1,000 pieces of the God Stone. One price is 50,000 pieces of the God Stone. Stock, 1 piece. Fang Fan looked at the relevant profile. This is also a card obtained together with the Pixio Swallowing card and the Sky Thunder Transfer card. All the same, very apt. Fang Fan licked his lips, his eyes flickered slightly, his thoughts were in place, and his mind was in full swing. Gradually, it became different. This is the most expensive card. One price is 50,000 God Stone fragments. The effect is also very clear, imprisoning the world for a period of time. If you can imprison the world, then can this Thunder group be imprisoned directly? Hold it well, maybe. As long as this energy source can be cut off, there is a chance. Now, of course, we still have to put it into practice. Although this prisoner card is worth 50,000 pieces of the God Stone, Lena's life is at stake right now, so naturally money and pieces of the God Stone cannot be used to measure all of this. It's not a big problem. Mentally, it completely collapsed. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, thinking to himself, his thoughts gradually became completely messy. The more you think about it, the more real you feel. Thoughts are surging to the extreme, and willpower is also galloping infinitely. Prisoner. Fang Fan raised his head, looked at the Thunder Dragon transformed from the pseudo-god level Sky Thunder, and roared angrily. The Thunder Dragon transformed from the pseudo-god level Sky Thunder seemed to sense it, and then couldn't help turning his head to look at Fang Fan's position, and then spat out the dragon's breath disdainfully. What did I just hear? Autumn? July? What do you mean? Sand sculpture, how could Fang Fan be so unstructured? What I heard was prisoner Sky. Prisoner? Is it true or false? I am CAO. It exploded. It exploded directly. Is it so fierce now? Oh. There is no kindness in the world of the strong, and the sorrow of the weak is nothing more than this. Fang Fan is awesome. It's bragging, you know it's bragging just by hearing it. That's it? You don't even believe this, do you? This lie is not so clever. It sounds like gimmicky. Dog thing. Hold on. Take off. Surge. Explode. Prison the sky? Imprison the sky? Doesn't the sky refer to the power of the gods? Do you want to imprison the gods? Ridiculous. Extremely ridiculous. Hey. Now it looks like this is really crazy. I don't even know what I'm talking about. You can't blame him. After all, it sounds really influential. It's all over the place for a while, isn't it? Steady, don't wander. The surrounding size gradually increased, and everyone was still very excited. One by one, their eyes widened, expressing their disbelief. All of a sudden, a golden ray suddenly unfolded in this world. The golden light became more and more intense, and then swept across the entire sky. Including the demigod Lages thunder group, everything in the sky seemed to have come to an end. At present, the thunder group can't continuously transmit energy to the thunder dragon that evolved from the pseudo-god level sky thunder. Suddenly losing its energy source, Thunder Dragon looked very irritable. But there is only one fate waiting for him, and that is to be completely melted away. It is more than words. At this moment, his sharp eyes swept across the surroundings, and gradually, he no longer knew how to express it. All words are completely silent at this moment. Silent and silent, the expression is even less real. Roar. Call. Suck up. At this moment, Pixie Shueying directly put the bloody mouth on the neck of the thunder dragon that evolved from the pseudo-god level sky thunder, and then began to devour it at the highest speed. That speed, that scene, that posture, all evolved to the extreme. For a time, the whole people trembled. Roar. Ho 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 ho. No matter how the thunder dragon that evolved from the pseudo-god level thunder roared, it had no effect, and the thunder group behind it could not provide it with any energy. This piece of sky is imprisoned, and the energy of this thunder group comes from the sky. So Lightwind has now become a decoration. Brontosaurus without backup energy storage can only become a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. For a while, there was complete silence. God, really imprisoned. Hiss, can you stop being so rampant? I can't hold back anymore. Gudong, is this the boss? I'm convinced, I'm really convinced. If you say you are imprisoning the sky, you are imprisoning the sky. Could it be said that Mi Shen can really exterminate God? Boss Fang Fan is awesome. SHH. Are you crazy? How dare you say that? I think you have taken the courage of ambition. Don't talk nonsense. When the time comes, I don't know how to die. Boss Fang Fan is invincible in the world. He can be unrestrained, but can you do it? Then you will be targeted by the real God, and you will die. Why isn't Boss Fang Fan afraid? Are the rumors true? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3756. Rumor? What rumor? It is rumored that Fang Fan is the reincarnation of the true God, that's why he is so powerful. He used to be a member of the true God, so naturally he won't be afraid of any true God. If I heard this before, I would definitely scoff. But now, I suddenly feel that this possibility does not exist. Who can decide on such a thing? Speaking of which, Fang Fan really has too many secrets hidden in him. True God reincarnated? Then, doesn't that mean that sooner or later you will return to God's domain to become a true God? Then what are you waiting for? Hurry up and curry favor. Such a good opportunity, just missed it? From now on, I will be Fang Fan's dog leg. Termins. No one wants to rob me. Whoever robs me is in a hurry. Look at your potential, don't see it? Heh. You'll be jealous when I'm on the verge of success. Add me one. The surrounding discussions were as exciting as ever. Fang Fan couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief at this moment. As long as it works. Seeing the thunder dragon that evolved from this pseudo-god level sky thunder become thinner and weaker, this shows that the fourth sky thunder is about to disappear here. There are only 4 demigod thunder tribulations in total. All passed. Even if you have completely survived the demigod thunder tribulation. The next thing that needs to be felt is the blessing of heaven after the demigod thunder calamity. This is also the key to breaking into the demigod realm. Everything is going smoothly. Lena also seemed quite surprised at this moment. She was ready to die, but she didn't expect that in the end, she would be able to brighten another village. It was a surprise, it came so frightening and trembling. It's the God Lord. It was His Majesty the Lord who saved me. Lena's eyes lit up, and an inexplicable sense of gratitude appeared in her heart. Invisibly, there was a hot current piercing through the bottom of my heart. That kind of taste, let alone tell anyone. Very unusual. Invisibly, it seems particularly real. As he spoke, the light in his eyes flickered across the board, and his complexion gradually turned red. Demigod thunder tribulation has initially stabilized. At least for now, there are no big worries. High in the sky, Pixie Shueying is sparing no effort to devour the energy of the thunder dragon that evolved from the pseudo-god level sky thunder. Gradually, this thunder dragon also began to collapse. Without the comprehensive support of follow-up energy, this is a paper tiger and nothing. After the thunder dragon was sucked dry, Pixie Phantom suddenly began to shake in the air. A roar followed, attracting everyone's attention. Boom! Immediately afterwards, in the astonished eyes of everyone, the phantom of Pixie actually turned into streams of pure energy and descended, and then directly poured into Lena's body, making Lena's aura begin to be guaranteed. At the same time, the prison card expired. The thunder cluster in the air gradually began to reveal itself. Boom! Rumble! Lei Tuan surging, it seems that he still wants to do something with him, but at a glance, he no longer has the capital to do something. Everything is fully established. At least the situation is now as stable as Mount Tai. Although Lei Tuan felt very unwilling, he could only collapse on his own, and then streams of pure energy descended and entered Lena's body. Everything is displayed in the purest form. It seems to be developing well. Steady. Fang Fan nodded silently. Finally, it didn't take such a wave of effort. It's not in vain that he spent all his efforts to deceive all the fragments of the sacred stone in Bai Biao's hand. At least the current situation is relatively stable. The overall situation can still appear in front of you in a definite pattern. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, his thoughts gradually became chaotic, and his feelings gradually superimposed. Endless heavens, destroy the temple. Ah! Damn it! Damn it! Failed again. Why? Why does it fail every time? This deity can't deal with an ant. How many times has this failed? Why exactly? What kind of magical ability does this ant have? Why can he block the world? This is not something an ant can do. Huh, someone is secretly helping him. Who is it? Who is it? Don't let me find out. Otherwise, one counts as one, and they all die. 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 The Supreme Being in red trampled the soles of his feet on the ground viciously, and then the surrounding space shattered little by little, causing countless people to tremble. Promoted. Another demigod. The light camp has been lucky recently. A quasi-demigod CAOG was just promoted 2 days ago, and now a beautiful quasi-demigod has arrived. The promotion is successful, and I have officially entered the quasi-demigod realm. Could it be that the chances are all on the side of the light camp? Heh. Who can say for sure about this kind of thing? Anyway, it's enough to be a bully. Anyway, I must admire it very much in my heart. Awesome class, just stabilize. Wait, why do I feel that something is not quite right? This has been successfully promoted to the quasi-demigod state, but there are still so many pure energies around, and they have not been used up at all. I suddenly have a very bold guess. I don't know if it's true or not. Quick, tell it quickly. Only when you tell it will you know if it's true or not. Good on, isn't this going to continue to break through on the basis of quasi-demigod realm? Grass. Against the sky. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. This is too heaven-defying. No matter what you think, anyway, I will definitely not believe it. You also believe in such a hip-pushing situation? Hurry, shut up. It's you who should shut up. It's impossible to put the matter on someone else, but this beautiful woman belongs to Fang Fan. Who of you can control the many methods of Fang Fan? Hiss, if you remind me like this, I won't be sleepy in an instant. It's really possible. Tisk. Are we going to witness another pioneering work? Cowbatch. I just came here today to learn more. I'm so excited and impulsive now. I'm taking off. I'm taking off. Brother, we are both very excited and excited. There are more and more emotional voices around, and I don't want to say much else. This time, the gesture is in place, and everyone understands it. Feeling like this, let alone tell anyone. For a moment, thoughts were bursting out in chaos. So real and so clear. Fang Fan raised his head and glanced, seeing that Lena still had hope of further promotion after being promoted to the quasi-demigod state, and his face was filled with anticipation. There is a big difference between a quasi-demigod and a weak demigod. In the quasi-demigod realm, although they have entered the ranks of first-line masters, they are still not top-notch. But if you are weak in the demigod state, you are in the same state as Shui Wanren, the deputy head of the Guangming Academy, and there are not many in the entire Guangming camp. This is the existence that can become the second-class saint of the Temple of the Alliance of Light. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3757. If you put this in the Protoss, you are also a second-class general. It will be much easier if I want to do something in the future. This is a good chance. If I have one more weak demigod under my command, it will be much easier to do things in the future. Going to the Protoss to conduct a comprehensive sweep of resources is also much more convenient. In this way, we can make money faster and buy more promotion cards faster to increase the strength of the major legions. I really want to see what will happen if all the major legions break into the demigod realm. If it really comes to that time, who will be able to compete with it? Hiss. It is more than words. The moment of full-scale explosion is coming. Fang Fan couldn't help but clenched his hands tightly, watching Lena's promotion journey wholeheartedly. Good guy. Fang Fan is about to take off again. I've now discovered that Fang Fan is just a little boy. The identity of these confidant friends is stronger than the other. Chairman Chu Sisi, a middle-rank saint? Or a high-rank saint? Now there is another loyal believer, Lena, who has a base in the quasi-demigod state, and can break into the weak demigod state just by speaking. Damn it! By then, Fang Fan will be even more handsome. Bring. Why don't I have the luck like Fang Fan? I stretch my hips. I stretch my hips too much. Bai Piao's eyeballs couldn't help turning red. At this glance, don't you feel very jealous? I felt it silently in my heart, and my brain suddenly buzzed. All kinds of other feelings are fully gathered, the thoughts are fully in place, and the ideas are also taking off in an all-round way. All kinds of feelings gradually increased. Thinking about it, the sound of breathing gradually became rapid. For it. There are more and more strong people around my apprentice, and it seems that my master will not be of much use in the future. Hey, it seems that I have to work harder, or I will hold my apprentice back in the future. Demigod. I want to step into the demigod. Just now I saw how imprisoned that day, I seem to have some insights. I seem to have thought of something. But I can't tell the truth. No. I have to find a place to think about it. Don't come to me anytime soon. I have to figure this out. Huh, or I'll feel bad. Taishaji frowned, thinking to himself, his breathing gradually became rapid. My mind is full of thoughts, my consciousness is chaotic, and my whole body gradually becomes stretched to the extreme. The chaotic heart is in full swing. After Taishaji finished speaking, he turned around and left without waiting for everyone's reaction, and returned to his residence. Uncle Ji. What's wrong with you? Are you okay? Wu Meiling, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, was stunned for a moment. Seeing Taishaji leaving in a hurry, she couldn't help but widen her beautiful eyes for a moment, with a worried look on her face. This looks a little bit wrong. As soon as Wu Meiling spoke, she wanted to catch up and inquire. Don't worry if something happens. Etc. Don't worry. This is his chance. This guy really doesn't take the usual path. We normal people usually only get some insights when we see the transformed mythical beast and the thunder dragon transformed from the pseudo-god level sky thunder. This guy actually has some insights into the imprisoning of heaven and earth. Hey, not a worry-free guy. But this is an excellent opportunity. If you grasp it well, maybe it will really make a difference. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, squinted his eyes to see Taishaji leaving in a hurry, and couldn't help but nodded. Ah. Are you sure it's okay? Uncle Ji is actually under a lot of psychological pressure now. Don't look at him laughing and joking all the time. He looks heartless. In fact, he thinks the most in his heart, but he just doesn't want to show it. Seeing these people around him advance little by little, especially seeing more and more powerful guards around his apprentice, he also felt a sense of crisis. I'm afraid that one day, instead of being able to help my apprentice, it will become a drag. I'm really afraid that he thinks too much and then goes mad. There are no such cases. Wu Meiling, deputy head of Guangming Academy, bit her red lips, and couldn't help sighing as she spoke. You don't have to worry about that. If you want to say that this guy has an impulsive personality and likes to fight with people, I believe it. But it's absolutely impossible to say that this guy went crazy because of these thoughts. As far as I know about this guy, he is an extremely pure person. When you encounter something unpleasant, just go up and do it. Where can you think so much? Vice Palace Master Wu, don't worry about it. Silently pray that this guy will have an epiphany this time. This territory of the gods is indeed a good place. When I was huddled in the sanctuary of the sky, how many years did it take for a demigod to emerge? How many years did it take to witness a demigod thunder disaster? I didn't expect how long it took to enter the territory of the gods, and everyone has their own insights. This is a sign of prosperity. Shui Wanren nodded silently, his face blushing involuntarily, thinking to himself, the endless light in his eyes flickered violently. This is naturally a great thing for Guangming Academy. The background of Guangming Academy is getting stronger and stronger. He, the first deputy palace master, was naturally extremely pleased. Why? If you really say that, I, the deputy palace master, should also feel a sense of crisis. Fang Fan brought up the momentum of introversion. The female guards under him are about to be promoted to the weak demigod realm. Are they in the same realm as me, the deputy palace master? From now on, how can I hold on to this kid in the future? What if in another 1,000 or 800 years, A strong demigod guard appears next to this kid. Wouldn't I, the deputy palace master, die of embarrassment? You bastard. Really, the introversion is to the extreme. Why? It is really necessary to practice hard. After finishing these things, I will fully devote myself to the wave of training. Shui Wanren raised his eyebrows, and at this moment, he couldn't help feeling a little more surging in his heart. His thoughts were messed up, and all kinds of consciousness burst out. How can this woman be so strong? My husband will definitely rely on her more in the future. I have also practiced very seriously, but after so many years of cultivation, I am a high-ranking saint. It's too spicy. Chu Ceci looked into the distance, and couldn't help but start complaining to herself. What I said was a deep feeling. The instructors and students of the Guangming Academy around him sighed. At this moment they feel that they can disappear in place. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3758. Compared with these heaven's favorites, they feel like they are wasting air alive. This introversion is a bit too much. Damn it. Just don't go too crazy. Let's take it easy, shall we? Pattern, the pattern must be big. Otherwise, I will really pull my hips completely. Too difficult. Completely crushed. You, a student who has not yet graduated, have already been promoted to a high-ranking saint. How can you still stretch your hips? So what are our mentors who have been teaching for an unknown number of years? Let's just turn to dust. You must know that a high-ranking sage, in the Guangming Academy, is definitely a special level tutor. Not ordinary, indeed unusual. Murong Yu, the first level tutor of Guangming Academy, looked up at Yuan Kong, then at Lina, and then at Fang Fan's bleak figure. She couldn't help but recall the first time she saw Fang Fan in the third-class Light Alliance temple in the third-class sanctuary of Qingtian in her mind. The first time we met, this guy seemed to like staring at her. A ruffian look. But she didn't feel disgusted. What kind of magical power does he have on him? It didn't take long to walk this way, but it felt like every step was being cheated. Once upon a time, this was a big boy who needed to be protected by her, a first-level mentor and a low-level saint. Has it grown to this level now? Demigod. The demigod combat power is also possessed by his side. This bad guy has witnessed his growth with his own eyes. His future, can I witness all the way to the end? What an honor that must be. Just, is there a chance? His future is unpredictable. His path will only become more and more brilliant. His chariot can only run extremely fast. Can I have a chance to board his chariot? Will I be thrown off halfway? Murong Yu murmured to himself. There was a trace of confusion in his long and narrow beautiful eyes, but more of a kind of joy and happiness. My man is getting stronger and stronger, no matter what, this is something worth celebrating. Some are happy and some are sad. In the face of Lina's rise from the sky, everyone in Guangming Academy is naturally overjoyed, because Lina belongs to Fang Fan, and Fang Fan is a student of Guangming Academy, and they are inextricably linked with them. They are all family members. But for Fang Fan's enemies, this is not good news. Father, did you see that? That Fang Fan is getting stronger and stronger. If you don't make up your mind to take revenge, you won't be able to take revenge in the future, and you won't have a chance. Also, don't you want that woman who just became a demigod to be your daughter-in-law? This is also a great honor for our CAO family. In the future, you can go out and brag that your son is a demigod god. This is what CAO Man, the young lord of Guangming God City, was thinking about. CAO Tang. Oh shit. How did labor and capital wisely have such a son? In the future, when looking for a wife, you must keep your eyes wide open, and you must not just look at the face. Facts have proved that 90% of the IQ of the son follows the mother. Generally speaking, the more beautiful a woman is, the lower her IQ may be. In this way, the son born may not be very bright. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, looked at his precious son Cao Man, and couldn't help sighing. Too difficult. Too much to suffer. If he hadn't been sure that this guy was his own son, he would have strangled him to death a long time ago. Anyway, keeping it will be a disaster sooner or later. Maybe one day he will be cheated to death by this idiot. That woman, do you think you are worthy? Why don't you piss to see what you look like? Such a woman, only a supreme being like Fang Fan is qualified to have it. If you want to save your life, give labor and capital a break, don't think about those unrealistic things. No, I can't swallow the breath in my mind and heart. I want to beat you up, so I can teach you a lesson. Otherwise you'll have to talk nonsense in the future. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, rolled his eyes. While talking, he immediately swung his fist the size of a sandbag and threw it at his son. The child does not teach, the father too. I spoiled him too much in the past, and now it's time to turn around and teach him a lesson. The posture is completely suppressed, and it looks real. Ah! Don't slap your face. I am Cao. Pain. Father. Are you insane? I am your son. Crazy. Really crazy. What's going on? You don't even know your own son. Don't do this. Take it easy. Stop fighting. Labor and management will not give you a pension in the future. Oh shit. It's unlucky to be your son. Grass. How can anyone beat a son like you? A worthless father would think of beating his son. Cao Man yelled, his eyes stared straight away, and his mentality collapsed. Now the whole person is just stupid. It's pretty quick to get started. But have you ever thought about how I feel? Am I not uncomfortable? Am I shameless? There are so many people, everyone is watching. Cao Man was complaining about having such a wonderful father. Cao Tang was lamenting why I have such a stupid son. Anyway, the father and son have already started to dislike each other. It seems quite joyful. Very messy. Snort. What does it look like? There's nothing to celebrate. Whether one can be promoted to a weak demigod in one step is another matter. Early celebration? How big is your face? The first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light could only sit on a chair because of injuries at the moment. Looking into the distance, he couldn't help but snorted coldly. Seeing his enemy's development is getting better and better, his heart is like being pricked by a needle. It is really uncomfortable. Caog stood aside, smiling all the time. Anyway, don't talk nonsense, just stand there. There is no need to say more about the other ones, and they understand everything. Be in control of your posture, and don't wander off easily. Now at this time, one wave ruins everything. His thoughts were in a mess, and his brain trembled all over. Cao Jigsu became shrewd, and his sense of words and demeanor became stronger. However, if you go too far, it is easy to be targeted. Why doesn't Cao Jishin speak? Do you disdain to talk to the saint? Wang Tu deliberately found fault. Caog was taken aback for a moment, the hands that held the tea and water trembled slightly, the corners of his mouth twitched uncontrollably, and then his eyes twitched. Damn it! What are you talking about? Is it okay to deliberately find fault and just say it? The labor and management don't say a word. You have an ugly face, you still want to trouble the labor and management? What dog thing? Narrow-mindedness is really not a good thing. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3759. Caog was already complaining in his heart. But there was still a flattering smile on his face. In front of Lord Saint, a humble official dare not speak casually. Master Saint is my heaven, Lord Saint is my reborn parents, Lord Saint. Caog started his habitual flattery. This word does not change, it seems a bit perfunctory. Snort. Wang Tu snorted coldly, obviously dissatisfied. You have to have a standard for perfunctory labor and capital, right? Are you so perfunctory? Is this really treating the saint as a fool? Ah! Seeing that Wang Tu was dissatisfied, Caog became serious in an instant, and immediately started a brainstorm, followed by his eyeballs trembling crazily, and various thoughts gradually burst out in his mind. The more you think about it, the more confused your thoughts become. This. The Lord Saint taught that. What did Lord Saint just say? Caog opened his mouth, with a mournful expression on his face. He did forget. Now his whole mind is in a daze. Wang Tu. Damn thing. Not a qualified slave. Snort. Forget it if you don't remember. I don't know how Caogician plans to deal with that Fang Fan next. This Fang Fan has a castration feud with you. If you think about it carefully, if there is anything that the saint can do to help, I will naturally not stand by. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, raised his eyebrows slightly, and took a sip of the tea in his cup as he spoke. For it. This. Caog opened his mouth, and couldn't help cursing directly in his heart. Grass. WTF. Let labor and capital act as dead ghosts again? It's obvious that you want to make trouble, but you insist on blaming it on me? Let labor and management be the vanguard for you. Let labor and capital be cannon fodder? Caog naturally felt very upset in his heart. I feel like I've been sold. Can this be tolerated? So. I can't wait to step forward and beat your skull open. But after thinking about it, I really can't beat it, so let's hold on for the time being, and don't get too jumpy. This subordinate naturally obeys Lord Saint. The Lord Saint tells his subordinates to do whatever they want, and the subordinates can do whatever they want without the slightest hesitation. Your subordinates don't need to worry about the hatred of the subordinates. The subordinates can handle it well. Caog bowed his head and said. The overt and implicit meaning is very simple, that is, don't bullshit me, my revenge has nothing to do with you, if you want to avenge yourself, just say so. For Caog at this moment, the desire for revenge is indeed not so strong. The whole person seemed to be completely let go. Since he was promoted to a demigod, his state of mind has also improved a lot. Immediately followed by a comprehensive understanding. Oh. Is it? Hearing what Caogician said, it seems that he doesn't want to take revenge. What's the matter? Scared. With the backing of a saint, what are you afraid of? Snort. Go with confidence and boldness. Caogician must not let me down. After all, my temper has not been very good recently. What I hate the most in this life is the kind of people who obey others. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, turned his neck, and then there were waves of bone tremors. Hearing this voice, Caog couldn't help but tremble in his heart. Damn it, it's too difficult. What is going on? Why? This mess of thoughts and feelings is about to burst apart in my brain. Difficult to go to the blue sky. His thoughts were messy, his expression was abrupt, and his consciousness gradually became a little unclear. As the saying goes, it is a little unclear. This is to drive ducks to the shelves. If I let go, I don't want to take revenge anymore. Do you have to let me go up and do it? There is such a person? Everyone knows Sima Zhao's heart. Shameless. Despicable. Dirty. Caog cursed viciously in his heart, but at the same time he had to face a very critical problem. That's how to fool Wang too. This guy is not stupid. It's really not good to always obey and obey. If you just keep stabbing, you can't control the rhythm. His thoughts were in a mess, his brows were completely wrinkled, and his eyes were slightly raised. Master Saint, I am also powerless. Although I have been promoted to the quasi-demigod realm, my combat power has always been flawed. I am at the bottom of the quasi-demigod realm. That Grand Uncle Ji, a supreme saint, might be able to suppress me. What's more, Fang Fan now has another demigod beside him. Why? I really can't find a chance to do it. Master Saint, no matter what, you have to understand my situation. It's not that I don't want to, but it's really impossible. This road is too difficult to walk. Caog had a showdown, and when he spoke, he directly expressed his thoughts in full. Admit it, who wouldn't? As for losing face or something, Caog never cared about it. He's already an eunuch, why do he care about shame? That's real bullshit. Difficult to go. I think Caogician doesn't want to leave, does he? As everyone knows, the effect of killing people with a knife may be better. Snort. This Fang Fan used his giant cannon to kill countless soldiers of the Protoss, and the Protoss hated him to the bone. If he can be properly led to a certain position, then his existence will be exposed. Do you think those Protoss will not be moved? At that time, it is absolutely possible to get rid of him with the hands of the Protoss. I'm mainly thinking about Caogician. I'm just talking casually, If Caogician is not happy, there is nothing I can do. At critical times, there must be someone who can take the lead. This is a great future, but it's right in front of us. I heard from His Holiness the Pope that he is about to step down as Pope and practice in closed doors. Who will be the Pope at that time remains to be seen. Wang Tu turned the cup in his hand, and while talking, his eyebrows raised involuntarily. As he spoke, the murderous intent in his eyes was fully displayed, and the bursting feeling burst out. The thoughts are in place, the feelings are deepened, and the ideas are also fully boiling. What? Master Saint is about to become the Pope. Then do I want to honor the title of His Majesty the Pope in advance. Your Majesty the Pope. Hail the Pope and be blessed. Caog, this dog-legged son, gave all the dog-legged things to do last night, and now he was talking, nodding frequently, the excitement on his face was beyond words. Not much else to say, this time the feelings are in place, and the thoughts are surging to the extreme. How excited and excited! Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3760. At least at the moment, it still looks like this on the surface. As for what's going on in my heart, I don't know. Low point. There is still no conclusion on this matter. Snort. What are you in a hurry for? Take it easy. Let your mentality collapse. Until the last moment, this kind of thing is hard to say. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, made a fool of himself, and then pretended to be on the sidelines, looking upright. In fact, when you say such words at this time, isn't it already clear what you mean in your heart? There is no meaning or value in talking about these things. On the contrary, it looks even more gimmicky. This time, all the feelings gathered, and the light in the eyes gradually increased. Such a state of mind, let alone tell anyone. There are thousands of thoughts, and the consciousness is messed up to the extreme. The surging mentality is being completely suppressed. The heart of chaos is in full swing. Caog looked disdainful. What the hell is Zubaiji wearing a bra, one set after another? Too good at pretending. Since you want to be a watch, don't set up a memorial arch. Don't you feel awkward? Anyway, he is also a first-class saint. Why is this style so hip? If you really let you take over the position of Pope of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, the Temple of the Alliance of Light will be completely abolished. There is basically no hope for the future. Pulling the hips in all directions is not a star. Thinking about this, the feeling seems to be real. Feelings also gradually increased. But you really need to prepare early. Although what Wangtu said is a bit out of tune, he doesn't need to lie to me about this kind of thing. Is this Pope really going to step down? If the position of Pope is really given to Wangtu, this guy's worth will rise, and he must not be offended now. But this guy wants to use me to harm Fang Fan now. Any fool knows it's dangerous. Why do you want to use the hands of the gods? Didn't you practice it once before? I thought that Fang Fan would take people to investigate the intelligence of the Protoss. What happened in the end? He brought people back and killed them. Now do you want to repeat the old trick? The key is that I'm not a fool, so why do I have to jump into the trap you set up? Whimsical. You come up with an idea at random, and then sit back and enjoy it. The rest is hard work. Caog couldn't help but slander in his heart, he just felt very tricky at the moment. Once this happened, he would be considered dead. He could foresee that if something really happened to Fang Fan and it was revealed that it was related to him, that grand uncle would probably run over and die with him. And Shui Wanren, the deputy head of Guangming Academy, would never let him go. The other is the beautiful girl who just became a demigod. I don't know how many people will be offended. What a mess. Caog essentially wants to seek advantages and avoid disadvantages, but now he is stuck in a juncture, and it is difficult to advance and retreat. How? Is there any embarrassment for Caogician? Or is it because I have been in contact with that Fang Fan a lot, and gradually developed some feelings of sympathy? Ah! If that's the case, Caogician might as well tell me straight up, I'm not the kind of person who doesn't show affection either. There were more cold snorts, and the sarcasm was heard very clearly. Caog lowered his head with a flattering expression. How dare you say no now? No embarrassment, no embarrassment. Lord Saint, please rest assured, I will do my best on this matter. I am looking for a fighter, and I will definitely help Lord Saint get rid of this serious problem. Caog can only talk to people now, he can't talk nonsense, at least he can deal with the situation in front of him first. Don't talk nonsense. This matter has nothing to do with the saint. It's Caogician who is eager for revenge. This saint knows nothing about these things. Don't say you slipped your tongue. Wangtu stroked the lid of the teacup, then said coldly. Caog. Really speechless. Really dog. If you go on like this, who the hell is willing to die for you? What kind of pope do you want to be with such a mind? Do you deserve it? Just think about the benefits, and don't want to take any responsibility. Shameless. Normally, the subordinates will most likely take the initiative to take the blame for the superiors, but this kind of thing is not the same thing as you taking the initiative to pick yourself up. Doing this will directly chill your heart. In the future, don't even think about engaging in those that are not. Everything follows in full swing. The situation of pulling the hips is speechless. The words that followed were stuck in my heart, and I couldn't speak them. Yes. Understood, Lord Saint. Caog shrugged without losing his composure. Let's go through this hurdle first. As for how to get there in the future, let's talk about it later. At this moment, Lena had been sitting there for almost an hour at the place where Lena had crossed the catastrophe. For an hour, everyone just stared at it. Lena has also achieved the quasi-demigod position long ago. But the pure energy around him hasn't been absorbed yet. When she consumed the surrounding energy to the same extent, the situation changed suddenly. Whoosh! Whoosh whoosh! The aura within a radius of thousands of miles did not know what kind of madness it was, and then crazily attacked the place where Lena was located. Immediately afterwards, a cultivation environment with extremely rich aura was formed all over Lena Jo's body. The aura is almost liquefied into a liquid. At this moment, a surge of aura suddenly swept over Lena Jo's body. Immediately, Lena opened her eyes, looked at Fang Fan's direction excitedly and inexplicably, and then nodded excitedly to Fang Fan. Weak demigod realm, it's done. Immediately, Lena wanted to share this joy with Fang Fan. The excitement on his face burst out at this moment. Endless feelings swept to the extreme. The smile remains the same, and the gaze remains the same. Joy is the most real feeling that comes from the heart. Really become a weak demigod. A demigod thunder tribulation, who directly crossed from the supreme to the weak demigod. Hey, the quasi-demigod state has become a transition. Is this the real boss? Big Brother's world is too exciting, I can't guess it properly, it's too tough. I can't accept it. Invincible. Now it is really invincible. How can it be so easy for others to cultivate and promote? When it comes to me, it's as difficult as climbing to the sky. Who knows about this kind of thing? Anyway, it's very hip. Steady your mind and don't wander off. Take off. Take off. The voices of emotion in the surroundings swept across, including envy, jealousy, sincere blessings, and narrow-minded curses. Vientiane. Of course, to Fang Fan at this moment, none of this mattered. He has one more weak demigod level combat power beside him, that's enough.